Essentially, it's two of the US's motoring loves: large, comfy SUVs and powerful muscle cars, mashed together to create a supercharged, supersized beast that would still be practical for a school run. A potentially very quick school run, obviously. Set the task of producing the world's fastest SUV, SRT, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles Performance R, set about it in a different way from the likes of Mercedes AMG or Land Rover's SVO division. SRT has set about it in the most American way possible, sticking a great big powerful V8 up front. And not just any V8 but the Mopar Hellcat, a 6.2-liter unit featuring a 2.4-liter Ryder supercharger, previously featured in such demure and subtle machines as the Dodge Charger and Challenger Demon. The Hellcat produces a super car rivaling 697 bhp and 645 pounds-foot of torque at 4,800 revolutions per minute, a slight reduction on its used cells were due to a more restrictive exhaust, powered through an 8-speed automatic gearbox with the manual mode. With power to all four wheels, the track clock can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds and hit 100 miles per hour in 8.8 seconds. It has a claimed top speed of 180 miles per hour, which SRT says is determined purely by the vehicle's aerodynamics. This is no wind-tunnel crafted sports car, remember. From the outside, the track clock isn't that different from a regular Grand Cherokee, only a few subtle nameplates and yellow Brembo brake calipers, the largest fitted to any Jeep ever, offer any hint at what lurks under the bonnet. Inside, the trim has been raised a few notches over the standard Grand Cherokee, with leather seats and some fancy track clock logos. While comfortable enough, it's not a class-leading interior. That said, you suspect any potential buyers will be more interested in the engine than in comparing rear legroom with that of a Nissan Qashqai. Fitting that engine meant reworking the internals extensively, even compared with the previous range-topping Grand Cherokee SRT, which featured a 461 bhp, 6.4-liter Hemi engine, which seems sensible by comparison. The Hellcat V8 has never previously needed to send power to all four wheels. That, combined with the packaging constraints of the Grand Cherokee, meant SRT had to extensively upgrade and rework the transmission, rear drive shaft, CV joints and differential. There's plenty of extra cooling, too. We were only given a very brief ride in the track car, totaling a handful of laps of the Spring Mountain race circuit in Nevada. Clearly, that's not enough time to draw any firm judgment, but it was enough to illustrate that the track clock has been engineered well enough that it makes far more sense to drive than it is on paper. For a start, it doesn't feel as brutal as you'd expect from a car with a supercharged V8 engine stuck in the front. Sure, mash the pedal and there's a satisfying growl and a whack of acceleration, but until you start to play with launch control, we'll get to that in a bit, it's far more manageable than you'd expect. That's not to say it isn't quick. The track clock certainly shifts, and it's when you get to the end of a straight that it challenges your preconceptions again. For a big, bulky SUV with the big, heavy V8 up front, it doesn't feel cumbersome when cornering. It turns in well at speed, with little of the understeer you'd expect, credit to the independent front suspension, Bilstein dampers and other tweaks. And it maintains admirable stability through a sequence of corners. It's never going to match a lightweight sports car, but it does offer a more involving experience than a heavy SUV has any right to. And, don't forget, it would be far more practical than a lightweight sports car on a trip to IKEA. It would be quicker out of the car park too, thanks to its launch control mode. The system, accessed through the same infotainment system that offers such SUV standards as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility, uses clever alchemy to pre-position the supercharger bypass valve, effectively preloading it to build up torque, which it then delivers with a hefty whack, propelling you forward so fast that you will forget you're in an SUV, at least until it's time to brake.